It's a pleasure to see both of you again. We have interviewed at Sundance, Christine, for Mucho Mucho Amor.
I
And then
remember it.
in 2018, we talked when you guys had, I think it was Science Fair.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Both of you, yeah. Well, congratulations on Own the Room. It is just, I just love the creativity that young people have, and this really shows that off. So I'll start with Christina. The concept for this obviously is an extension of other work that you've been doing, but this subject seems to be near and dear to your heart.
That's right. Yeah. Darren and I both think that there's just so much to celebrate in about entrepreneurs and business owners. It takes a lot of bravery to start your own business. Half of all new businesses fail in the first 5 years. And so we wanted to take some time and really celebrate these kinds of people, and especially when they're at the very beginning of their careers as entrepreneurs and business owners. My parents, you're right, it's close to my heart. My parents are business owners. They have a small furniture company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My grandparents are business owners. They had an upholstery company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Also immigrants. And so, I think a lot of I've been raised to believe that entrepreneurship is hard, but also very rewarding. And small businesses are the economic engine of our economy, and so, or of our world and of our country. And so we really wanted to spread the gospel, I guess I'd say.
Darren, it's also amazing to me what these young people have to overcome to get here, so to speak, and present their products and ideas.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about the range of students that we feature, and from different parts of the world, is that you get to see the different challenges that young startups face. Some face more challenges than others, and some come from communities that are more supportive than others. Obviously, in the U.S., the entrepreneurship is something that is celebrated, and we talk a lot about it, but it's not the case everywhere in the world. And certainly, the capital to start up a business is not doesn't exist everywhere. And so these business pitch competitions become critical to startup companies to raise necessary money to keep their ideas alive. And so the GSEA competition in Macau is one of the biggest and most prestigious competitions of its kind. And so basically the creme de la creme of the young entrepreneur world really wants to get into that competition. And so we were fortunate enough to feature 5 of those students in this documentary.
5 amazing students, I should say. And each one of them has just this wonderful backstory that engages anyone who's watching. Cristina, I mean, how do you select the students you're going to feature in your documentary?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the hardest tasks, is picking, who you'll spend this time with, because so many of them are incredible. So many of the people we met in Macau are amazing. And so we spent a lot of time interviewing, doing Skype calls and phone calls with these young students from all over the world. And we wanted to pick a selection of students whose stories represented different issues that our world is facing and that entrepreneurs face. And so I think what ties them all together is they're all finding kind of big solutions to local problems. And you can see how most of their companies probably couldn't have been created anywhere else.
Wow.
And I think that's important, that entrepreneurs continue solving local problems like Santosh did in Nepal. That the gross national happiness is, as Kundra, what's his name, Dixit, the editor of the New York Times, or the Nepali Times, says it's a uniquely Nepali problem, because so many workers are working abroad, and they miss their families. And so I think what Santosh created was something that was so unique to Kathmandu and so unique to Nepal, and it was a great privilege to be able to spend time with so many of these kids who were doing such big things. I need to stop calling them kids. They're they're in their early 20s. They're adults, young adults.
Yeah, but I look back at my early 20s and I've got nothing that I've left society. And these kids are just, and I call them kids, but these young adults are just amazing. Darren, what brings you back to documentary filmmaking? I mean, what about this media has your heart and soul?
I love docs. I've been, in journalism early part of my career doing, mostly, television stuff, and then moved into documentary filmmaking. And I think it's just a really great sort of vehicle for talking about ideas and characters and challenging conventional wisdom. And, obviously we're living in a bit of a golden age of the documentary, and, I think that's been great for, the genre, because it's also been expanding, what's possible in the world of documentary. This, documentary is fairly straightforward, but it's also an opportunity for us. Cristina and I, sort of our backgrounds is in investigative journalism, and a lot of times we spend a lot of our energy and efforts looking at the problems in the world and how things went wrong. And so it's nice to be able to sort of return to a genre like this, and sort of celebrate what's right, and the students in this case, who are taking on big global challenges and aren't waiting for other people to address them. They're doing it themselves, and there's something really inspiring about that. And so, it would be greedy of us just to sort of keep those stories to ourselves, so we make documentaries about them instead.
Cristina, I'm gonna give you the last word on this. I don't want to leave this conversation without talking about how much hope there is in every segment of this documentary. And when audiences watch it, I think they're going to pull that away. But what else are they going to pull away from watching Own the Room?
Yeah, we were living in difficult times. This is, we're in a global pandemic, and the world is in a rough spot. But I think we could all use a little bit of inspiration and joy and hope right now. And certainly, when we were filming this, these young students gave us a lot of joy and hope and inspiration. And I think that that's in the film too. They come from all different walks of life. Some of them have not had easy lives, and yet they're out there, trying to build something huge and trying against all odds. So I think if you need a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of joy, maybe some laughs, I think this would be a good film. And it's also a great film to watch with the entire family.
It is. It is just again, as I said before, and I keep repeating myself, it's a wonderfully hopeful film, and these young people deserve as much attention as we can possibly give them. Thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate catching up with you. And had we not had this pandemic, we would have probably done this at Sundance, huh?
I know. Well, great to meet you, Tony. Or great to see you, Tony.
Yeah, thank you. Darren, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.